Our New Testament reading this morning comes from Luke 10, 38 through 42, and that is on page 1613 in your pew Bibles. So I invite you to listen as I read, and I pray that any electrical devices are turned off. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him, Jesus that is, and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." Martha, Martha. The Lord answered, "You are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. I was so into the song that I didn't even put my sermon in order, but here it is. Shh. Stop. Sit. Listen. Which late person is better? Martin Luther King or Mahatma Gandhi? Which sport is better, basketball or soccer? Some of you have the answer. Is a rich man inherently better than a poor one? And the last question, I love this one. Which human being is preferred by God? A man or a woman? Shh. Stop, sit, and listen is the title of this sermon. And we all know how easy it is to be quiet, to stop with the busyness of life, to sit still and just be and listen. Anybody have a problem with that? Sometimes. Our scripture gives us a peek at human and cultural mores and expectations into the life of these two women, the disciples, and of course Jesus, as they were about to prepare and share a meal. The teachings of Jesus, the hearing of Jesus' words. And presumably, Martha, as our scripture says, it was her home, and I assume she's the oldest in her home, and she's hosting Jesus. Can you imagine hosting Jesus? I might need some help if I was hosting Jesus. She was so preoccupied, Martha was. She was busying herself in preparing the dinner, possibly preparing several dishes. And I don't know about you, but have you ever made Thanksgiving dinner and left something out? You know, like, oh my gosh, I forgot to make the eggs. Lord, you know God. But in fact, during these, I'll just say, patriarchal biblical times, and much like some families today, and maybe you and I as well, but most directly in the ancient of times, the women prepared the meals, took care of the home, and attended to the children. And if the household was wealthy, the woman attended to her charges for the benefit of the family and the honored guest. But today, the honored guest is Jesus, the teacher, the rabbi is at the table. Martha becomes frustrated. Can you just feel it? How many of you are hostesses? I'm just going to say women, host something and you get a little nervous. So-and-so is coming by. While her little sister just sits at Jesus' feet. And you understand, Mary was breaking all protocol. You know, women weren't just supposed to sit at Jesus' feet. That was reserved, and I'll just say education was reserved for the man. But breaking all societal protocol, that was orchestrated for Mary in this case. You see, Jesus was in a way honoring her need to hear the word, to hear the teachings, to hear the love, to hear it all. The Jesus, the same Jesus that's Lord of Lords, King of Kings, Son of God, God with us. Jesus opened the door and encouraged Mary to sit at his feet. Now you see, Jesus didn't just put Martha down. Martha was important too. You know, the doers in life are important. Those whom take care of the home fires. Those whom make sure that the bills are paid. How many of y'all pay the bills in your family? Yeah. How many make sure that, you know, the lights don't go out and the grass is cut and all of those things? Those are doers. Oh, he making you raise his hand. That's right. And some of us are a little bit more contemplative. Some of us need a little bit more time to ourselves. We have a chair in our house and we sit. We got that lamp. You know the lamp, the one that turns the light on so we put our reading glasses on it and it just fits us right. We can put our feet up if we want to. You know, that chair. The one where we feel the most comfortable. But today you see that Mary felt the most comfortable just sitting at Jesus' feet. And Martha was just fussing around doing this and that. Now, one is not more important than the other. This is what I'm trying to say today, is that both of them, the balance of them, are both important. The contemplative self and the doing self. If we don't pay the bills, what happens? The lights go out. They put you on the street. The car disappears. Tuition is not paid. You don't get an education. Guess what? Those are real consequences. However, there are also real consequences to forgetting to sit at Jesus' feet. Because we have not taken the time. We're so busy and so full of judgment sometimes. You see, some people that are real busy, they get real judgmental against others. I'll just leave it right there. Don't worry about it, Tara. That's okay. That's okay. Don't you worry. We forget that being contemplative and being with this book called the Bible, and of course we're going to get it up off the floor because I don't want anything happening. this Holy Scripture is what is to think about. Jesus was saying, it's okay to sit at my feet. It's okay. Sit down. Listen to what I have to say. Now, I don't know about you, but this week has been a tough one. Just in life, you know, you have to pay your bills, of course. But the tough part, at least for me personally, and as a woman of color, I happen to turn on the TV, you know, and relax. Sometimes I turn on HGTV, sometimes I turn on the Hallmark Channel. Anybody turn on the Hallmark Channel? I just want to see something nice, you know. I see so much in a day or in a week that Friday comes and I just want to zoom out. Well, what happened is, you know, my TV automatically goes to channel 13. I don't know why, but I think they pay, you know how that goes. So I turned the channel on and it got to 13 and just kind of phased out, and I'm getting ready, you know, you fiddling with the thing, I'm trying to get my clothes off and my shoes are already at the door, and I'm like, oh, I'm so glad to be fan on, I'm good. And I heard this. Send her back. Send her back. Now, I would be remiss as a pastor to not point out how I felt. I thought, my goodness, I've lived all over the world. I have gone everywhere, pretty much, for a woman of my ilk and my color and my opportunity. I've had wonderful opportunities. And America has always been my home. And I was always glad to come back to it. Any of y'all been anywhere, been on a mission or anything like that? You ready to come home? You ready? But send her back. It hurt my feelings. But after I got through picking up my jaw off the floor and feeling like, wow, please, Lord, don't, no. A voice said, go ahead, you can turn on the Hallmark Channel, it's all right. And also said, shh, stop, sit, listen. And instead of turning on the channel, I just turned it off. And I thought, man, Lord, what now? Well, you see this book that just fell on the floor, and I thought about my sermon this Sunday about Martha and Mary and the balance that we have to have in our lives, and the fact that Jesus was saying, Martha, Martha. And I felt like Jesus was saying, Sheryl, Sheryl, my word is what is important to you. Sheryl, Sheryl, my word. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. I thought, wow. Now, some of you have that Bible with the red letters. That's what Jesus said. This is what Jesus is saying. Yeah. This is what Jesus is saying. Blessed are you when people insult you and persecute you and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. And then, you remember those two little girls that came up here and sang about light? Jesus also said, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men and women, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven." You see, if Mary hadn't sat at the chair at the feet of Jesus, she wouldn't have heard. Huh? Jesus also said, "You have heard that it was said, 'Love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may have sons of your Father in heaven. He causes his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. If you love those who love you, what reward will you get? Are you not even the tax collectors doing that? And if you greet only your brothers and sisters, what are you doing more than others? Do not even the pagans do that? Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect." You see, Mary and Sheryl and Frank and Mo and Dr. Brooks and the rest of us all in here, if we hadn't sat at Jesus' feet as Christians, we wouldn't have heard that. We would be preoccupied with the busyness of life.
Yes.
And then, hearing that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees and the Pharisees, they got together, and one of them, an expert in the law, tested him with this question: "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" You all know this. Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law of the prophets hang on these two commandments." You see, if we get too busy, if we get too contemplative, we miss something. You see, both are important. In this busy life, when you feel insulted or demeaned, and it doesn't have to be a big thing, it could be a little thing. A girlfriend called me up and said, "Girl, I went on a cruise," not you. I went on a cruise, and all they wanted to do was play cards and dominoes. And she was insulted because nobody wanted to be with her and the dolphins. You see, the other women were afraid because they didn't swim real well, and they thought maybe the dolphin might take a nip. But you all, you're breathing today. Whether people take nips at you, or hurt your feelings, or make your jaw drop to the floor. As Christians, let us be like Mary and sit with this word and remember who we are. Remember who we are as people of God. And so today, all of you are amazing individuals. It doesn't matter where you come from, because you know how to be busy,